Sagittarius, I'm Christy, you're watching Tiny Turtle Tarot, and this is your reading for November 2023. As always, if anything I say resonates, please let me know by liking and subscribing, and let's get on with your reading. I just got, for some reason, really disorientated about whether my tarot cards were upside down or not, but they clearly weren't. So there's something this month where you're going to feel a little bit like, is that a certain way? Is it upside down? Is that the way it should be? Is that the right way up? Or am I acting this way? Should I be acting this way? But it's actually the way it should be. So a little bit of overthinking maybe, overanalyzing, but it's like the right way. Whatever it is you're going to be thinking into, stop it because it's fine. What else? What's happening for Sagittarius? The Sun. So the Sun is exposure, it's happiness, it's the happiest card in the tarot deck, and it's the first card out, and I'm pretty sure you're actually the only sign that's had the Sun come out. So that's beautiful. You're the last one I'm doing, last but not least, my fellow Sagittarians. The High Priestess now coming out. This is really random, but I just saw a lotto draw in my mind. I just saw and I've not watched in years when they used to draw the lotto on the TV, but I'm just seeing someone go, and now we have number 13 coming out. I don't know why, it's just like ding ding. So maybe you're playing the lotto this week and winning, or I don't know, there's something where you might intuitively feel a lot of happiness coming with the Sun and the High Priestess. She's very intuitive. She knows what's going to happen before it happens. You might be very intuitive, Sagittarius. You're very wise, we know that. The Sun card as well. I feel like there's something going to be exposed about your intuitive abilities or about your psychic epiphanies. Basically the same thing in a way, right? There's something where you're going to have an epiphany and you're going to feel like exposing it and saying it just in case. I've got a weird feeling it's gonna rain any second, right? And you have to say it because you'll be annoyed if you didn't, and then it did, and then it rains. There's something like that. I've had so many psychic epiphanies in my life that I don't say because they sound silly, and then it happens, and I'm like, no one's gonna believe me. No one's gonna believe me. So that's also that lotto draw coming through. If you've entered the lotto, you may well win. There's something where you're going to win something of significance with the Sun here. For some of you, it's a beautiful energy. I know that sounds silly, but again, I have to say it. It's that same energy of I have to say it because I'm going to be annoyed if one of you tells me I won the lotto, and I'll be like, oh, I wish I'd told you because now you're not going to believe me. Knight of Pentacles coming out, and the Six of Pentacles. Also, a long time coming, there's reciprocated equal give and take. If you're in a relationship and it's felt very one-sided, or it's felt like you're doing all the work, it's balanced out in November. Somebody's actually going to be doing all the work instead. It's like they're going to be like, oh, sorry, well, I can't make up for that, but you take a seat, I'm going to do everything. There's something where someone's going to do that. It's like switching the roles. Switching the roles? Roles will be reversed. Instead of I don't know, it's almost because they could go, oh, I'll help you. But they're kind of aware of the fact that they've not been doing as much as they should, and they're going to make up for it in November. Also, if you're single, but you have someone in mind, but you were investing and they weren't, so you walked away. Somebody's wanting to invest now, and they're going to, and I feel like it might be a little bit too late, but they're going to try anyway. Two of Wands balance, Five of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Swords. So things are coming into balance. Five of Pentacles reversed is very nice. Five of Pentacles upright is feeling alone, feeling out in the cold. But if you notice, there's actually a key right there. There's a key to the door if she just looks up. So it's reversed. No matter what happens in November, you're aware that there's actually a solution to the problem, because this person is not aware. This person is not aware that there's a key right there. Whereas you're very aware that it's upside down, so it's the opposite. You're aware that there's always a key to each door, to anything going on in your life. You're aware that there is a solution and an easy fix, and if not an easy fix, a fix that you will find soon enough. And with the King of Swords, it's to do with your intellect. For a lot of you, you're just smart enough to figure out a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And in November, you're very much becoming more confident in your intellect. In some sense, maybe somebody made you doubt your intellect. I don't know why that's coming through. Or you've been around people that aren't necessarily intellectually advanced, should we say? Whereas in November, you're like, okay, that doesn't mean I have to be the same. And you're just upgrading with the King of Swords. Man or woman doesn't matter. It's just somebody that's very smart, very much. Also good at communicating, very healthy. Four of Cups coming out below the Five of Pentacles also. I just feel like, see how I said that? Like, sorry, I'm getting carried away, but I was like, Four of Cups coming out now. It sounded like the way they draw the lotto. I don't know if you watched the lotto in New Zealand, but it was just like, Four of Cups coming out now. I don't know why, I'm just seeing, I can't let it go with that lotto thing. Maybe I should buy a lotto ticket. I don't know, there's something about that. But with the Four of Cups coming out on the Five of Pentacles reversed, there might be someone that rejects you or has rejected you in the past that you knew it wasn't a closed door. Because of that, like, there's a key, and you know there's a key to it, and you're just like, oh, they're rejecting me. Oh well, I know that will come back round if it's meant to. I feel like someone's coming back around. I really don't know if you're going to care. Justice. Again, another card of balance. There's a lot of balance here. Things being weighed out. Nine of Cups, a lot of happiness, a lot of emotional contentment, a lot of like freedom. Also, you could be studying something or learning a new thing, or I don't know, some of you have got a new job but you are like half in. It's almost like you know half of the stuff you need to know and then the rest of it you're winging. But in November you're going to like feel very much like you've got it. So maybe you're worrying a little bit like, oh my god, I'm a little bit out of my depth here. But in November you're going to go, oh okay, actually I had that the whole time. It's almost like you have all the information. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You're like, well, they're all older than me, or there's no way, there must be more to it. It can't be this simple. It's almost like in school when you answer all the maths questions really quickly and someone goes, well, you must have answered them wrong because maths, like, it must be hard. You can't have done that. And then you go back and check it and you mess it all up or something. There's something where you think you're not doing something right because how would you know all that? You've just started the job. There's no way, you must be doing bits wrong, but you're actually doing everything right. And in November you're going to be very happy to come to that realization. You're just going to be very happy in your work or in your even just studying. Maybe you are a student and you're doing math or something like advanced chemistry or something difficult, and you're kind of going, oh okay, yeah, no, I was doing it right and it is easy because I'm smart. There's something a little bit like that, a little bit of that energy of just I don't know, I feel like there's a weight being lifted off your shoulders where you can just kind of like chill, go on holiday. There's something where something that you thought you couldn't do, with it, like party or just go on holiday or just enjoy yourself, or just even if it's just going and watching Netflix, there's something where you've not been able to do it because you've been busy studying or working, whereas in November you're going to somehow have time to because you'll be on top of everything. It will all be coming easily to you, even if you're working very hard. It's almost like maybe in October you were working very hard, doing everything, and then you just crashed. Whereas in November you'll be doing all the same amount of work maybe, but you're just used to it and you're like in the groove, and then in November you can just go, okay, cool. I've done all my work for the day, I've done all my studying, whatever it is for you. I feel like you've got very busy schedules, and then you're going to go, okay, I still have energy to do the thing I want to do, which is very nice because I feel like there's things you're ignoring that you really enjoy doing. Eight of Pentacles, work, booked and busy. I said, I feel like you're very busy and this comes out. Yeah, clarification, we love it. It's just, also be more sure of yourself as well. Like, you don't have to see evidence to know you're right. I feel like that's coming through, especially when your intuition, if you have an intuitive feeling about something and it pops up out of nowhere, like, you're like, I feel like I'm going to meet someone called Paul today. Trust it, write it down, tell a friend, and you don't have to see anything in the physical at all. That's the thing, it's intuition, right? Where does it come from? Where does it go? Cotton Eye Joe. Maybe you'll meet someone called Joe. I don't know. There's something where you're going to feel something's happening. You're going to have no physical proof. So you're going to be like, I can't tell them. They'll think I'm crazy. But I don't know why it's coming through. Trust your intuition. Maybe it's not even about telling someone. Maybe it's more about you kind of studying. Why would I be given this information before it happens? How would that help me? Like one time, I randomly got the intuitive epiphany. I was like, my brother's going to crash into my car. And I thought about it, I went, no. What a weird thing to come through. And 5 minutes later, he comes around to the house and he crashes into my car. And I kind of, like, I'd already processed in my mind, okay, if he's crashing into my car, I have to stay calm because I can't change it, one. And two, why am I being told this before it happens? Other than to prepare me for when it happens, to handle it in a much better sense instead of getting angry or upset at him. And when it did, I was able to go outside and be like, yeah, I understand it was an accident and you didn't mean to do it. Like, instead of getting angry at him, because I could just see in his face that he was upset about it anyways. Like, why would getting angry at him help? So there's something where you're going to have an intuitive epiphany and you're gonna have to think about why you're being given it before it happens. It's always advice. It's always handling it better when it comes. So just think about that. If you get some weird kind of, even if it's like you have a feeling you're gonna bump into an old friend or an ex or something, think, why am I being prepared? Why is this coming through now? Oh, it's so I can handle it better. It's so I can handle it in a different way than if they'd just popped out of nowhere. I can handle it better. And I also feel like telling you for some reason, intuition and anxiety and worry are two different things. So if you're actually just worrying about bumping into an ex, don't worry, but it's more like just a random epiphany. Why am I thinking about James, right? Why am I thinking about James? I've not thought about him in years. You're gonna bump into him. Like, just trust that it will be something really random. If you're thinking about someone, don't worry. Don't think that that's your intuition. It's when it pops up out of nowhere. Like, my brother's gonna crash into my car, and then it was random, and it was so specific that I knew it was real, and I knew it was gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know why I felt like saying don't get it confused with worry or anxiety, because you'll know it'll be very random, very specific maybe. Like, you'll know I'm gonna bump into my ex tomorrow at lunch. Like, there's gonna be really specific information, and you'll think, why? Oh, because I'll be able to handle it with a lot more grace and a lot more like understanding than if they caught me off guard. It's just gonna benefit you somehow, because you wouldn't have been given that information if it wasn't. I don't know why, I feel like you're really growing into your intuition in November, and you're gonna get a lot more used to having such crazy epiphanies. I'll get you 2 more cards. So you've got 7 of Cups coming out, the World. Do I want one more? Yeah, 7 of Wands. So 7 of Cups. 7s might be significant. You might be seeing 777. Like, look out for it on number plates. It might be important. You have like a lot of different directions you can go in November. Maybe you're thinking about different places to travel to, because we have the World and the 7 of Cups. It's like pondering, where do I want to go? Oh, Greece looks nice. Italy looks nice. Oh, France. It's like, oh, where do I want to go? For some of you, traveling, holidays, things like that. If it's not that, I mean, it makes sense, Sagittarian travel, right? If it's not that, it's just you kind of realizing you have a lot of different, like, skills. Maybe you've studied a lot of different things, and you're like, where do I invest my time? In November, it's look at this as if it's a gift. Because there's a lot of people that are in the situation of, I have no directions. Whereas in November, you're going to be like, oh, I actually have lots of different options. I feel like you might be offered specifically a couple of different jobs, but they're going to be very far in different directions, like location-wise. They'll be very far away, or very, very different maybe from each other. One will be very creative-based, one will be very strict. One will be maybe more freedom to do your own thing, whereas one's very much working on someone else's time, but they're very different. But it's like, and you're going to be like, whoa, how do I know which one to do? But make sure that you just remember, like, look at it optimistically, and then go towards the one that you feel most called to, and like comes easier to you. I don't know why it's coming through. Like, it will be funner for you, it would be much happier for you. Do that one. It will be much easier. There's something where it just, things are supposed to be easy, Sagittarius. Maybe you've told yourself, especially with the 7 of Wands, it's almost like you might have told yourself things have to be hard in order for you to kind of grow, or to be, it's almost like, yeah, you've convinced yourself you have to do things the hard way, but there's actually, like, November is going to be very easy for you, and you're going to succeed in many ways by doing the easier thing, which is a really silly thing to say, but I feel like I would say, like, the difficulty of something doesn't necessarily mean it has value, right? Like, what's something that's really hard to do? I can't even think of anything right now. What's something that's difficult? I literally can't think of anything. I genuinely can't think of anything right now. Climbing Mount Everest, okay? Difficult to do. Then you think, well, I could climb Mount Everest, or I could just climb Mount Maunganui. Maybe live in New Zealand, okay? I'm gonna do that. I could climb Mount Everest because it's really, really hard, or I could just enjoy my afternoon and climb Mount Maunganui. There's something where you're just gonna do the easier thing, or go with the easier job, or maybe this is about people. Maybe you have 2 relationships, and one of them, it actually flows a lot easily between you two. It's a lot, they like you, you like them. But then maybe there's another one where you don't think they like you, or it's gonna be a lot harder, or someone's playing hard to get, it's kind of like the advice from the tarot is kind of like, go towards the one that you both like each other. Go towards the one that's not playing hard to get or playing games. Things aren't supposed to be hard. That's really coming through. So like, just go with the flow. It doesn't, if it's a fight, it's not meant for you. It's coming through. Like November's going to be a very chill, easy going month where things happen easily. Relationships flow to you. And the ones that aren't for you flow away from you. As if you have to fight for someone, like, and they're not fighting for you, like, what's the point, you know? I just get that energy of you're just like letting them go. Maybe if someone in particular, for me to even say that, you're like, well, that's too much energy. There's someone over here that's like buying me flowers and is obsessed with me, and they seem great. I'm gonna go towards them. Obsessed in a light-hearted sense, obviously. I use that word way too freely, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap your reading up here. You have an amazing month, I can already tell. I really hope you enjoy your reading. I hope that it resonated or does resonate in the future. And if you like my style, please let me know by liking and subscribing. And I'll see you next Tuesday for Tiny Till Tarot Tuesdays.